Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Object to Lure Sports Invasion. I'm Joe Mauricio. This afternoon, I have one very special guest. Special because he takes care of kids, not in Chicago, not in America, but in Kenya. And help me welcome my guest today, the author of the book. Just give them a hug, and the rest will be easy. Brett Weiss.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So, why did you write the book?
Well, I've been to Kenya 5 times, and we started the scholarship fund in 2011 because there was virtually no education there. And lots of people said, you have to write a book, about it. And so I wrote it to really share the story so that people could learn about what it's like to live in Dago, how wonderful these people are, how hard they work, and about how our scholarship fund is trying to turn things around and give them real hope.
Well, what kind of message do you want to give to the reader of this?
My message has generally been, first of all, when they buy the book, I thank them for coming on my journey, because this has been my journey, but I also try to encourage them to start their own journey. What I've done, everybody can do. Lots of people can do this. I'm not any smarter or better than anybody else, so I want to encourage other people to do similar things.
Yeah, your parents, Howard and
Bernard and Elsie.
Bernard and Elsie.
Right.
Weiss has the scholarship to
Yes.
for these needy people, needy kids. Why kids? Why kids in Kenya? Why kids? Why not kids in America?
No, it's a great question. I get asked that all the time. And, my wife is a retired third grade teacher, and both of us, in a private way, do a lot to help kids in the Chicago area, around the United States. My work in Kenya has made me more of a public person than I ever realized. Part of it for me is when I take a look at a map, I don't really see all the boundaries. I see us as kind of was one world, and a child's a child. It doesn't matter what country they're from. And I believe that every child should have the opportunity to have a great life and get a great education. So that's why I happen to be in Kenya.
Yeah, but you could pick some different countries that are probably more deserving. There are in Kenya, they're pretty progressive. I think.
Well,
Better than the other countries.
you realize when it comes to education, they're about as backwards as can be. The average person in Kenya has 4 years of education.
Oh my.
And they quit because, first of all, the government pays part of primary school, not even all of it. They don't pay anything for high school. So a lot of kids quit about 4th, 5th grade because the average family income is $1 or $2 a day, and they'll quit school to go out and work in the fields to try to make a little bit of money to help their family out, because they figure they're never going to get to high school, so why should they bother go to school? Mm-hmm. So we've already seen what this has done is it's created more hope that a lot of kids are staying in school longer, because now they've seen a lot of their other children in the community go to high school, and we have 4 students now who are actually at university. This is from a village that almost nobody ever went to high school. So hope is causing them to stay in school longer.
Well, how long have you been doing this thing in Kenya? Your mom and dad created that philanthropy to help.
Well, actually, I created it after they had passed away.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they passed away in 2005 and 6, and they grew up very poor in Chicago, and they worked very hard to make sure that me and my brothers had a great life, great education. So when I started this, actually in 2011, I decided I would do it in their memory, because I think that they would be very proud of the work we're doing, because they were poor, but they were big believers in education.
You're not doing this thing by yourself. You have some people helping you in this venture, right?
Well, I've had lots of people help, because we've raised money from hundreds of different people. People give 50 cents, $5, $10, $20, whatever they can. So I've had a lot of help from people. I've been a teacher the last 13 years at Bartlett High School. Many students and many former students have helped me a lot. One of my former students runs my website. because I don't know how to do that. I'm not technical enough. So he runs my website. Matter of fact, I'm going to go see him next week because we're going to make some updates to the website. So yeah, I can't do this on my own. Plus, in Dago, I'm 8,000 miles away. I have a lot of the adults there who helped me with the scholarship program, and I couldn't do it without them.
How far is Dago from Nairobi?
From Nairobi?
Yeah.
It's if you had decent roads, it's about a 3-hour drive.
That's
But
not
in
too far.
Kenya, there are no decent roads, so it's about a 9 to 10 hour drive.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Can you walk it?
No. That's in a car, and that's because the roads are very poor. You go through all kinds of villages. Many times there'll be a bunch of animals in the road. You got to wait till they go by, or there's lots of things that get in the way of going out to Dago.
In this book, you're taking the readers on the time that you spend.
Yes.
Relating to what happened and things like that. That's kind of exciting. Can you relate that thing to?
Yeah, my goal in this, I met somebody the other day who had just read the book, and she said to me, I feel like I was in Kenya with you.
Yeah.
And I said, thank you, because that's exactly what I want you to feel. I want people to feel as if they're there, they can see it, they can smell it, they can hear it, and really try to experience what life is like for the people there.
So there are some people in Seattle, the volunteer group
Yes.
in Seattle are helping you.
Village volunteers.
Village volunteer.
Yes, I couldn't do it without them. A lady by the name of Shayna Green runs it. They're the ones who connected me with Dago. I'm so small, I'm not a nonprofit on my own. It's called piggybacking. They're my nonprofit. So the money all goes through them. I tell them to disperse the money. They handle the legal fees, the accounting fees, because I'm pretty small. I don't have money to handle that. So yeah, Shayna Green and Village Volunteers are a very important part of this.
Would you expand to other Asian countries like the Philippines?
To Asian, yes. It's a great question, because one of the things I tell students a lot is about half the people in the world live like people in Dago. We're just lucky.
Yes,
We're
yes,
blessed
yes,
there.
yeah.
I happen to be born to two great hardworking people on the south side of Chicago. And unfortunately, the need is everywhere. There are thousands of villages in Africa and Asia, other places
And
around the world.
languages and dialect and
Oh.
tribes. The tribes.
There's 42 tribes in Kenya. Every tribe has their own language. Plus, they have Swahili, and they speak English because they were a British colony. So the need is unlimited. What I've learned is I need to stay really focused on what I do, and my focus now is on Dago. We are looking. There's so much poverty there. As we try to expand this, we're trying to look. Are there other ways that we can help? Right now, we send 32 children to high school. That's still a tiny fraction of all the children. So we're looking to do more.
You are targeting mostly an educational type
Yes.
aids. How about their living condition, like electricity, water,
Right.
infrastructure, transportation? What?
Right. Well, I guess I'm an economics teacher. That will come out in me now. Once again, it's about being focused. Like, I've been asked to help them get electricity. And my response was, if I help you get electricity, that means less children get to go to high school. And of course they said, well, no, we don't want that. I mean, I'm just a small fund.
Why is that? Why is that?
Because I don't have an unlimited amount of money.
If you're given like a solar type thing,
Yes.
which is free electricity coming, to me it's the opposite of what these people are thinking, because they will be spending nights doing the homeworks.
I know. You're right.
Right now they cannot do the homework without the electricity. Because
No, you're right. You're right, because they do a thing that's called lighting the lamp. They have a kerosene light that they'll have at night, but kerosene's so expensive most families can't afford it. So you're right. But that's the challenge. In our world, we say something like, what do you buy for someone who has everything? I turn that around in their world and I say, what do you buy for someone who really has nothing? They need everything. You're talking about other needs. There's a long list of needs. They live in little mud huts. They have no plumbing. I mean, they need more food. They can't grow enough food to feed themselves.
How about hygiene?
Yeah.
How about
it's an issue. I mean, in Dago, I'd say they're clean compared to maybe some other people in poor countries, but it's still, they live in mud huts. It's all dirt. They don't, most people there will never see a doctor. The food is, they're kind of clean, but it's not clean by our standards. So hygiene is an issue.
medical missionaries is what you need.
They need that. Most people in Dago will never see a doctor.
Yeah.
The only medical facility is about 30, 40 miles away, and for if you live in Dago, that might as well be a million miles away. The average person dies at about 40 in Dago, and when
Oh,
they
my
die,
goodness.
they usually. I asked why they died. They go, I don't know. They just died. AIDS is a major problem in that
Oh,
part of
my
the world
God.
too. Most of our children in our program do not have both parents. Some lost both of their parents when they were very little, usually because of AIDS.
So how are you addressing that problem?
Well, I mean, as an educator, I believe that education is the core solution to all the problems. We know that when children get educated, they're less likely to get AIDS. They're probably going to have fewer children. Their children will get better medical care. There's all kinds of data on this. So, you know, my whole thing is about education because I think education is the beginning of solving all of these problems.
Correct. I agree with you. But how can they purchase this book?
The book is, my publisher is a company called iUniverse, so it's at iUniverse.com. It is also available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and many other websites.
Yeah, try to purchase this thing and help the children of Dago.
Yes, 50% of the proceeds go to the scholarship fund too. So by buying the book, you're helping us help more
Well,
children.
who is this guy here?
That's me. That's me with, over here, that's Nicholas and Victor, who I just visited. They recently graduated from St. Pius Ururi High School. And in about 2 months, they started university. It's amazing.
Wow.
We have children from this little town. We have 4 students now going to university from a town that almost nobody ever even went to high school.
You know, from primitive to a civilized society, more or less. How do they adjust? How do children adjust?
You mean when they get to high school?
Yeah.
It's interesting because when they get to high school, they have they're boarding schools,
Uh-huh.
so they get electricity. They have access to the internet. They see TV, so the whole world is opened up to them. Plus, the way they live in high school, they have electricity, they have plumbing. So now they've seen a whole new world that they didn't have in Dago. Plus, they see there's even a better world out there. So it gets them excited. It encourages them to work hard because they know if they work hard, there's a great life out there waiting for them.
Right, that's great. And
Yeah.
thanks to you, you know, and whoever's helping you
Lots of people.
to help these children. They need it, and well, you get the last word. Can you speak to our viewers and see?
Okay. Well, thank you. To all the viewers, first I want to thank these wonderful people for having me here today. I would encourage you to buy the book. Once again, iUniverse, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's a great story. I want to share my story with you. Please come on my journey. And as I said earlier,
This is his journey, personal journey.
this is my personal journey, yes. And I encourage you to start your own journey. I would encourage you to help children wherever they're at, whether they're in Chicago, anywhere in the United States, in Africa, in the Philippines. Help children because every child deserves to have a great education, and we need to create that in our world.
Thank you so much, and that is a straightforward appeal, and we are also appealing to our community to help and buy this book for the children of Dago, Kenya.
Thank you.
Again, this is Joe Mauricio. Thank you very much for sharing your Sunday with us, and I hope to see you again next week.